Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Division of Information Technology's weekly webinar series. I'm Lauren Niemeyer, the Web 2.0 specialist in the Learning Technologies group, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about two of the more prominent professional networking sites out on the web today, LinkedIn and Academia.edu. So whether you want to offer guidance to your students on the networking benefits of LinkedIn, or if you want to join more than 1,000 of the University of Maryland's faculty colleagues and research assistants on Academia.edu, this session we're going to be delving in a little bit deeper on the basic features and the benefits of both. So if you have any questions throughout, just feel free to ask them you can type in the chat area on the lower left-hand side of your window, or feel free to raise your hand, and then we can let you and hit the talk button, and then you can talk. And let's get started. So today I'll be discussing what professional networking is, user statistics of the two different sites, and then we'll have some real fun exploring the different features of both sites. So professional networking. It's different than social networking in that it's focused primarily on the interactions and relationships of business or academic nature, rather than including personal, social, non-business interactions like you would on a site such as Facebook. LinkedIn and Academia.edu, they're quickly becoming a necessity for any working professional's portfolio. They provide you with the ability to maintain and shape your own web presence, and that's what I think is really important about them. So if someone is doing a Google search for you online, these two sites are usually the first to appear, and so when you have accounts to them, you have the ability to control what information you are sharing out there on the web to your users or anyone who's searching for you. Academia.edu, it's geared more towards the academics, the researchers, the scholars, where LinkedIn is mostly focused around the business sector of things. Now, can someone be a member of both of these? Sure, definitely. It's usually academics who I have found are usually on LinkedIn rather than the other way around, just because LinkedIn is such a large community right now, and academia is still rather small in comparison, but they're definitely growing in numbers steadily. So even if you're a faculty member and you're on Academia.edu, I still think it's important that you know about both. The reason for this is that LinkedIn is such a powerful networking tool that it's almost essential for students these days to have a profile. So everyone knows the economy is tough out there, so anything that can give them a leg up on their careers over the other competitors that they're going against for jobs should be encouraged. So that's why we wanted to have this session for you today to tell you about both. So the numbers. So as you can see from this comparison, LinkedIn has been around for a few more years than the relatively new Academia.edu. It clearly has a much larger user base and reach. When we take a closer look at the two sites in a little bit, you'll be able to see that LinkedIn is it's a little more robust now. It's been around for a longer time and has a lot more features, but Academia.edu has some key features for academics that LinkedIn doesn't feature, such as the easy ability to search and link to your research, your books, your publications, and that's what makes it a favorite over LinkedIn to many of the faculty members that I've spoken to. And also, Academia.edu is unique because everyone who's on it is in the academic community, whether a faculty member, research, or a graduate student. So it's less cluttered by all the marketing and company advertising that you find on LinkedIn. Both sites are incredibly easy to navigate and use, and it just takes a minute a few minutes to set up your account, and then you immediately start by populating your profile. So within minutes, you can be out there on the web with a presence. So without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at the two. We're going to start with Academia.edu. So bear with me 1 minute. I'm just going to share my screen now. And let me know if you're having trouble seeing this. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, great. So, okay, now we're in Academia.edu and we're on my profile page. So as we talked about in the last slide, Academia.edu has a little over 1 million users right now, and it's steadily increasing. The founders of this site, their goal is that Academia.edu will eventually list every academic in the world, from faculty members to postdocs to graduate students and independent researchers. I did a little looking around, and it has a few competitors out there. There's a site called Copernicus, ResearchersGate, Quartzy, but they're primarily more for scientists, specifically anyone in the science profession. So Academia.edu is for all academics, so it has them beat in that, and it also has a lot more members than any of those in comparison. So I'm not going to walk you through the steps of setting up your profile because it's, again, very easy. Instead, I'm just going to give you a look around, and we're just going to start with my profile since it's already set up. So as you can see here, there's an About Me section. And when you're going through the profile setup, you fill out a lot of this information. So you're going to start out with a profile that's pretty populated. You have your position, your department. You can add a home page if you want. Then here's the update section. So like everyone's familiar with Facebook, most likely, or other social networking sites like that. On your page you have, this is a little news feed, but mostly it's about things that you've done right here. You can ask a question out to your community, and you can also update your status here, and that gets sent out to anyone who's following you. Now, when you're first setting up your profile, you get to select some research interests. So for me, I chose information technology, social media, social networking, and Web 2.0. So I'm going to be showing you the homepage in a little bit, but anytime I ask a question, the question goes out to anyone in these areas of interest, so that I'm getting back answers from someone else who's interested in that topic. This Add More feature, now this is what puts Academia.edu up there for academics. In this section, you can link directly to your books that you've written, your papers. You can add talks, your teaching documents, any blog posts that you've done. You can upload your CV and your website. So this section is very popular with faculty members, and the reason why a lot of them prefer Academia.edu over LinkedIn. You can also link your account to Facebook and Twitter. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Also over here you see I'm following the work of Dr. Katie King and another one of our professors within the university. And as you continue to make connections, this will obviously populate with more people, and then any updates that they do will be updated to your news feed that I'm going to show you in a minute. So now we're in the home page. So when you first log in, this is after you've set up your profile, and if you log out, then when you log back in, this is where you're going to land on your home page. So you see it has kind of a minimalist feel to it. This news feed down here is anything that your research interests or anyone that you chose to follow has updated. So here's a paper that's been posted, question that someone who is also in an area of interest has posted, so I can read that and respond to it if I'd like to do that. So, and then you can see more news and scroll back for a while. Over here, there's a jobs category. So if anyone has posted any jobs that are related to my area of interest, they populate here. You can dig a little deeper by clicking on the jobs tab and search. You'll see that we're going to, in LinkedIn, so LinkedIn has a much more robust job search tool, but this is still nice. You can search jobs over here. You can post a job if you have an opening in your department. I do believe there are most likely fees attached to that, though I'm not really sure exactly how the fee structure goes. Yes, that's true. We all never know with technology. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. And another neat thing about this is right here you get a mini dashboard view of your site statistics. So you can right here see that today I've been here a lot, so it's gone up. But if I click on dashboard or up here or the mini dashboard, you get a stat. So you can see that 4 people have viewed my profile in the past month or so, 30 days. And down here you can see that it's been viewed 3 unique times. This is just kind of interesting, just so you can see how your presence is being shown online. So if I had some documents, you could see who's been viewing them, and then it also breaks it down by country. So if you are known in your field and you've been sharing documents and doing talks, you can get a feel for what regions are sharing your interests. So that's another cool little feature for that. Let's see, I'm going to show you. So, and up here in the search bar is where you can type in to search for people. You can search your interests again, and then you can also search by universities. So let's search University of Maryland. Okay, so you can see here there's 965 people, but there's also 414 in the College Park, and then also all the other university systems that we have. And when you click on this, it's broken down into departments. So if you know a colleague that you would like to follow, or maybe you search another university and you want to see what their faculty members are doing in that area. So like I was saying, you can scroll down and view the different departments. I'm actually going to go down to one of our faculty members that we work closely with, our Women's Studies Department, and show you her profile so you can get a sense for that. But once you click on the department, you delve a little deeper. It separates it between faculty and graduate students, research assistants, also appear on here as well. I'll click on Dr. King's information. And so here you can see what her fully populated profile looks like. She has her information, a little about her section. She's posted her books that she's written, papers. She's thrown out some questions to her research interest groups and teaching documents, etc. So as you can see, and I can send her a direct message if I choose to. And when you're following someone, it's a little different than how Facebook works. You're just following them, and they don't have to follow you back. So it's not like a friend request where you can't see their information until they give you access as a friend. So as long as you're out there and you put your information out there, then most people can have access to that. So now let's go ahead and switch to LinkedIn before my application steps. So LinkedIn, okay, it's a little bit bigger than Academia.edu. And by that I mean a lot bigger. It's grown to more than 135 million members in over 200 countries. That was as of last month in a New York Times article. There's a few competitors out there, mostly some applications that are being added towards Facebook that you can download or add to your account. It's called Branch Out, and there's also one called Be Known. But again, people are a little weary of those because it is associated with your Facebook account, and so you run the risk of maybe someone seeing something personal that you don't want them to see. And the New York Times article that I found, when they surveyed most people, yes, most people preferred to keep their personal life still separate from their professional networking life. So LinkedIn, it has, it likes to brag that 75 out of the Fortune 100 companies are its clients. So this, again, is what makes it very desirable for potential candidates for your students or yourself to be a member of, and also for networkers. And because of this, you'll see that throughout the website, there's a lot more advertising, and it's targeted specifically towards you and your interests. So right now we're in my profile page, and you have the ability to share as little or as much information as you want. I'll show you in a little bit some privacy settings where you can target specific people that you want to share things with or turn things off. But for the most part, the whole purpose of this networking site is that you do want to get yourself out there and again, create that web presence. So really, if you just don't want to share something, then maybe just leave it completely off your profile. When you're setting up your profile, LinkedIn has a really great profile wizard that takes you step by step through each thing. It tells you why you should add that, percentages for if you get this much of your profile completed, then you're more likely to be found by recruiters or businesses or networking opportunities. So as you can see from my page, I'm 95% complete. So I think it's pretty good. If I bring in my resume, then I've completed my profile. And again, here's some tips that they give you for completing that. So I have my position, I have my past positions, my education. LinkedIn, they have what they call our connections. So that's instead of like Facebook, you have friends. On Academia.edu, we were following people. And here it's connections. So again, here it goes both ways, just like Facebook. So when you ask to connect with someone, they have to accept you. and then you're both connected. So that's really the whole point of this website. So I can ask for recommendations. So I can ask any of my connections if I have maybe a department head that I would like to give me a recommendation. I can do that. Also, people can ask me for recommendations. I can add my website. I can bring in my Twitter account. Another thing here is a public profile. A best practice for this is when you first create your account, this will be populated with a bunch of numbers at the end. If you just simply click edit, you can give it your own name. So I did Lauren Niemeyer, and now that's an easy link that I can send, that I can add to my CV or your resume, and then you can share that with others. You can also click the share button. You can make it a PDF. You can print. I'm going to keep scrolling down. And so you can add more your summary of what you've done, your working, your research projects. You can see who's viewed your profile. So here, 8 people have looked at my profile in the past 30 days. I've shown up in 15 search results. That's great. Keep scrolling down. It lists your activity so you know what you've been doing. Today, I found a really great article through LinkedIn, actually, through some of my update page, and I'll show you where that is. And so I shared it with those I'm connected with. So here it is on my activity page. It also tells you when you're connected with someone, when someone's accepted your account. It gives you updates on your groups that you're a member of. Looking over a little to the left, there's skills and expertise. Does somebody have a question? Okay, I'll just keep going. So the skills and expertise, this is a new feature that I was pretty excited about. They all have this drag and drop capability. You can move these anywhere that you want if you want to highlight specific areas. Just like many of the Web 2.0. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Okay, I'll just keep moving on, but if anyone has any questions, just feel free to ask. I think I was saying a lot of Web 2.0 sites are constantly updating, and LinkedIn is just like all of those. So the skills and expertise section is new. You can add different things that interest you or that you're skilled in, and you can also move these around, sort of like tagging yourself, I guess, in a sense. Move down to education, and then down here you see your connection. So if any of those you're connected with have any updates, you see them as well. If I had any recommendations, they would be here, my websites, my groups and associations. Talk a little bit about those in a minute. My personal information, like Academia.edu, we have this home page when you first log in, and this is where all my updates are. So I can send an update myself with a link, share my Twitter feed if I choose to do that. The people you may know is a really excellent networking and collaborating feature, I think. I always am shocked at when I see someone come up. I'm like, how did they know I knew? How did LinkedIn know that I knew Hinda or someone like whoever shows up? So that's a great way to get in touch with people that you may not think of initially, or other experts in your field. LinkedIn Today, this section is based off your interests. They pull articles that are relevant to you. So this is where I have Web 2.0 as my interest, and so I got that really great article on iPad screencast app. So I'm can't wait to read that later today. So that's why I shared that out. So again, it's highlighted towards your interests. And then finally down here is the update section. So anytime anyone that I'm connected to has an update, it gets populated here. I can sort by my University of Maryland coworkers and see what they're talking about and any updates that they have, and etc. So I can sort by however I want to. Now, what I have found is fascinating today, as I've been really pretty much on here all morning. When I first logged in earlier this morning, there was 3,000 and about 900 new people in my network. And just in the past few hours, there's already 500 people have joined the network. So as you can see, it is growing at a rapid pace. Here's also some jobs that I may be interested in. It's a beta version, but it's a little bit more robust than the Academia.edu one that I showed you earlier. Groups that I may like. This is another excellent feature. It populates based on my interests and my education and my activities. Groups, and down here companies that it feels like I would be interested in following, so I get updates from them. Again, really pushing that networking piece. I can also search by colleagues who've just joined LinkedIn or some alumni. Okay, and now I'm just going to go across the title bar, the navigation bar, and talk a little bit more about some of these. This contacts feature, wow, this is great. This is a glorified address book. I read an article the other day that was saying how this feature on LinkedIn is single-handedly going to be the end of all Rolodexes. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it is a pretty powerful tool. I can tag my friends, my colleagues, my people I'm interested in, and I can sort by them. So, and then I can target messages directly to those certain some of my colleagues. So, for instance, and then if I click on one, I can see a quick little update on what their contact information, and then I can just click a few, and then I can send a message directly to them. I can also export my connections and then load this into my Microsoft Outlook and then send an email that way to a number of my contacts. You can import your contacts here from your Gmail or any of your Twitter, Facebook. You can connect all your accounts. Network statistics. Now, LinkedIn, how it differs again from Academia.edu is there are options that you can upgrade your account. You can upgrade to pay a small fee or sometimes a larger fee to, let me show you. Upgrade your account. Here we go. So with a fee, a lot of times this is mostly for people who are recruiting for their companies, but it's also could be for your students, for job seekers. You have to pay a monthly fee, and you get some extra features. This is the area where you can upgrade if your students are looking for, or yourself looking for a new career. You can get a little bit more details on people and connect in more diverse ways this way. I'm going to click on groups real quick. For groups, you can join affiliations and groups that you're a member of already. You can also join groups that you want to be a member of, or you're interested in topics that they're talking about. Let me click on EDUCAUSE real quick. So here you have the ability, you get updates on discussions that other EDUCAUSE users are posting. Sometimes they'll post job things here, or job announcements, or maybe new research that's out there. It's just a great tool for staying current in your field, which I think is really important. And one of the great benefits of both this and Academia.edu is staying up to date and current on what you're interested in and making you a very marketable person. So companies is sort of the same thing as group. For me, I'm in University of Maryland is my company. Let's see, it also has the same, the status feed flows into my home page. Job features. This is where you can direct your students to go to search for jobs that they're interested in. They can sign up to get a paid account where they get, I think they more or less get bumped up sort of to, they get the job seeker badge as it says here. So it stands out more to employers who are looking for new employees. Let's see. There's an inbox capability, so it's like an email client that's built in within LinkedIn, so you can send messages to your connections this way. And here's the more detailed news tab. So, like I showed you on the home page earlier, the news feed, it's pulling from this page. So again, here you can see some articles that LinkedIn thinks will interest me, and actually, more often than none, they are really spot on. And I have set up an email, so once a week I get the top emails. I get the top stories from my interests sent to me, so I can look over them and just stay current on top of things. Again, Dr. King, I want to show you what her profile looks like in LinkedIn real quick, so you can get an idea of how she has set up her profile in this tool. So as you can see, it sort of has the same thing. You can follow her on Twitter, her personal website, her company. And this is a really cool feature, I think, that LinkedIn has started this application. So it's sort of like you can embed it, or more like a widget feature that you would have on your blog. So you can embed these applications, and for her, she's embedded this Amazon reading list, so you can see what she's currently reading and connect with her and talk about things that way. You can see that I'm connected to Katie through Sharon, who's on this webinar, and our director, Chris Higgins. So you can see how your connections are based. And then she's listed her experience, her groups, and some of her associations. So if you remember from her Academia.edu profile, she was able to list more of her publications and her books and her talks. LinkedIn is more of the networking side of things. So you can see the differences, but I think they're both very powerful tools. Go to our last slide now. Does anyone have any questions? I know that was a lot. And again, I'm sorry for the screen sharing. Sure, Paul says best practices for public profile. Right. So LinkedIn, you can set it up so that on your public profile, maybe you would just have where you work, your job title, maybe a website to your university page, maybe that has your information, and then when someone is connected to you, you have to accept their connection request, and then you can set it up so once they're connected, then they can see more information such as your where you went to school, or you can make that. It's basically up to you. You can turn off most of all the things you can set in your privacy settings so that whatever you want to share is shareable, and whatever you want to keep hidden for once someone's connected to you, then you can do that. Now, I don't think LinkedIn at this point is as, it goes as deep as Facebook. I don't know if you're familiar with their sharing capabilities, or Google Plus. You can set up certain lists of people that you can say, oh, I only want someone in my friends list to see that I'm a member of this. Does that make any sense? I think it's almost like you either share it, all your information with someone once they're connected to you, and if they're not connected, then you can have, I guess, your landing page, so to speak. Okay, great. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's up to you. I mean, if you want to share with the web, with the world, your publications and your information, you can do that. I know a lot of people like to keep their information out there to share it with the community, but others want to make it more private. So it's definitely up to you, customizable. Okay. Well, if anyone has any questions, or if you want to sit down with me and we can work to set up your profile, just email learningtools@umd.edu. We can set up some time to consult or talk about best practices. And thank you for joining us today. Again, sorry for the technical glitches, but I hope that this was informative and helpful.